Welcome to ruralvacantland.com. This is Luke Smith, and today I'd like to show you what I believe is the cheapest property in the Twentynine Palms area of San Bernardino County, California. This is 5 acres. I'm asking $2,999, basically $3,000. And for this 5 acres, it's near a road. It's got power lines near there as well, and it looks like there's little trails and roads running all over the area, and you can check out online if you really want to go for it. Feel free to drive out there and take a look at it. I'm going to pull it up on Google Maps by clicking the GPS coordinates in the listing. I'll put a link to this listing down below in the description of this YouTube video. It looks like last year's taxes was a little over $200, and I'll pay all the fees to transfer this thing to you. Do the paperwork and everything. Just check out online. You can put on a credit card or debit card. So if you're going out to look at this property, if you pull it up on the GPS, you'll see that we're in Southern California. We're close to Palm Springs. Here's San Diego, here's Los Angeles, here's Las Vegas, here's Phoenix. This green here is Joshua Tree, which is a beautiful park. I mean, even if you're not interested in this land and driving around the area, please go drive through Joshua Tree. That's a national treasure. Beautiful area to look at. Palm Springs is over here, right behind Mount Jacinto, and which is, you can go hiking in the woods and skiing. On this side's got nice skiing. There's lakes in these mountains. This is beautiful countryside here as well. So you can go in the winter time, you can go up here and you can go play in the snow. In the summertime, you can go up these mountains and you can get out of the heat. You can get into the woods and forests and alpine-ish kind of climate and nature that's there. Take your dog for a walk in the woods instead of the desert. But at the end of the day, you can drive back down the mountain and you can go live in the desert where it doesn't get as cold at night. So this is Yucca Valley. There's a Walmart here. There's a Home Depot here. This is 29 Palms, and there's grocery, gas, and post office, basic supplies, all that kind of stuff. As we keep zooming in, this is Amboy Road. Goes out the middle of this valley. Amboy Road, just before it starts going north up into wherever it goes, there's a couple turnoffs here. Zelda Lane, and it's just off the corner of this road. So let's switch over to satellites. We're getting a little bit closer, and you see there's a bunch of houses along this road. There's power lines. The power line comes down this road to at least here. When I was looking, I can't see where it comes further south, but the power line runs along here, and it doesn't seem to be that far from the house, 1,000 foot from where the center of the property is. From the north, let's see, the north part of the property, if we power lines to the north part of the property is like 700 feet. The nice thing about this property is there's already a structure on it, so there's a home there already. I mean, it's not ready to move into. Like, this one looks like it's got a proper roof, but this one, I mean, it's gone. Someone stole the roof or salvaged it, or they sold it on Craigslist or whatever. And you got a cement slab that's still there. When this satellite picture was taken, the ribs of the house are still there. I don't know if the ribs will still be there or not. Some people take those things off and go use them in their own structure. I wonder if this is a power line right here. That might be an old power line going to the property. Might be a couple of them over here. So that might be the old power route. I think that's where yeah, that would make sense, because that's where the property boundary is. So that north part of the property boundary looks like it's got an old power line route going across it. So maybe they shot down one of these property lines and over to get to you. Yeah, so this building is on the property, and there's 2 tracks, trails. Looks like people driving all over the area. Just off-roading, having fun, exploring and stuff. So I know you can drive in there. I mean, it's not going to be a problem to drive in there. There's 2 tracks coming from the south up this way that crosses Zelda Lane, and Zelda Lane goes a couple different ways. If we take this Zelda Lane Which way do you think is going to be best to get out? I have no idea where it goes down there. Looks like it goes a long ways. That's your adventure route, but your more realistic route, it comes up this way and goes to Amboy. So you go to Amboy there. There's a whole bunch of turnoffs off Amboy to get to these lanes. This one looks a little more driven. Let's check this one out. So it follows the power lines there. This one looks pretty driven as well. It looks like it's going to their house. But if we look at, let's get rid of these measurements. So we can get a street view over here. You can see what some of these turnoffs look like. That's north, so there's some nice mountains there to look at. Where's the turnoff? That might be the turnoff. And that looks driven on. I think you can drive across that. There's a whole bunch of these trails leading all over the area to get to the property. You're just going to have to use your GPS to get there and try a couple of trails and see which one you like the best, see which one's the most comfortable. Yeah, so feel free to drive out there, take a look at the property and see if there's anything left. So the nice thing about having a slab on your property like this, people in the past have bought properties from me in San Bernardino County. They're always asking for a slab or something to start with, because if they got something to start with like that, the zoning or the permitting, I shouldn't say the zoning, the permitting is so much easier. You call the planning zoning department in San Bernardino County and they say, really, you want to get a permit to add on to a slab that's already there? Why don't you just say you're fixing up what's there and just go for it? So they kind of turn them away, you know. I don't know if they're supposed to be getting the permits or not, but a lot of them just build without getting the permits because the county basically tells them to. It's easier that way. It's easier on everybody. When you're not starting fresh, you're not pouring a new slab, and getting all the groundbreaking, you know, permits to go start a new house. So people love to buy this kind of startup and go build what they want. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that happens to this property. And you put it on Airbnb or rent it out, use it as a seasonal cabin or a full-time place to live, however you want to go for it. So I pulled this up on LandWatch just to look at the market. I was just looking at this market for another property as well. And so I got 29 Palms put in there, price low to high. The cheapest property in the area is 1 acre for $3,000. I'm asking $2,999 for 5 acres. It's 1 acre for $3,000. I don't even know where this is at. Well, they got some pictures, Mesa and Schroeder. Not exactly sure what to say about this one. Same price, but 1/5 the amount of land. And minutes to downtown 29 Palms. So it might be a little closer to 29 Palms than this property, but it's still 1 acre and not 5 acres. Here's less than an acre for 3,500, 0.2 acres for 3,500, 1 1/4 for 37, 0.4 acres for 39, 2.5 acres for 45. You know, by the time you get 5 acres, I saw on here it was $5,000. This is the cheapest. This is the cheapest 5 acres. It's the cheapest comparable without being this little tiny properties. So I think $2,999, and this one's got a slab. That other $5,000 one, I don't believe it has a slab, and they don't talk about access. They don't talk about any benefits or great things about the property, so I'm guessing it probably doesn't have any, but I'm not exactly sure. So that's my synopsis. That's where I come up with this price, cheapest in the market. I think it'll sell pretty fast. Pull it up on Agent Pro 24/7, who's got some lot lines. You can see the neighbor house there. You can see this structure on this house. Again, this is Microsoft mapping, but they've got the property lines there, and they've got these the same streets and trails. Like this trail looks like it goes right up into the property. Zoom in, you can see if the internet will keep up with me. Well, you can see tire tracks around this area. Other people have driven in here. So I'm sure you can as well. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is Luke Smith, ruralvacantland.com, and hopefully this is the right property for you.